Biggest question on the internet right now. What wins in a fight? 100 men or one gorilla? What do you think?
Well, normally we wait until we've got a load of questions, but we thought we needed a mini episode to address this burning one. The internet has a very weird sense of humor sometimes, and this is a big question a lot of people are asking.
Huge.
So, like, as I said just before we started here, I was doing a quiz tour and I did a Q&A session, and I thought they'd be asking me about the chase or about the podcast. People asked me this. That was the thing that they wanted to know.
Well, what's the answer, Dara?
Well, there is a definitive answer, and there is one that's correct. So the last one of these that was really big was there more wheels or doors, and that's very subjective. But this is actually really easy.
Fact.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna full on say there's a right answer.
I'm going to say there is a right answer to this, and it's down to just simple maths. To be honest, it's quite
go on.
Right. So we'll go into this. We'll set the scene. This is in an arena, say the Colosseum in Rome. The men have no weapons. It's just man versus beast, and it's 100 men at once rushing a gorilla. Yeah. So obviously, if they're lining up, if they're taking turns, the gorilla's just going to mash them all into the ground. Might get a bit tired, but that's about it. So we need people to realize what a silverback gorilla is really like, because I think sometimes we don't realize how monstrously large they really are.
They are terrifying.
They are absolutely terrifying. So the biggest one ever found was one that was shot about 100 and some, nearly 100 years ago in the 30s. It was 1.95 meters, which is 6'5" height. Beast. Big beast. No, the beast on the chase is a little bit taller than that, but this is where the numbers get really scary. Their wingspan, his arms were 2.7 meters, which is 8'10" from fingertip to fingertip. So in terms of boxing terms, its reach is just immense.
That's horrifying.
Its chest measurement was 2 meters, just under 2 meters. Now, I'm wearing a large t-shirt, which is 110. So it's nearly twice as big around as my chest. Now, I'm not the biggest man in the world, but massive. So
it's probably 4, mate.
yeah. You could probably like put one in each arm, and it weighed 219 kilos. Now I'm just over 6'3", and I'm not very heavy, but like I tip in at around 90 kilos, 95 at Christmas, So it would have been more than twice my weight at my heaviest.
So they're like dense.
They are, because they've so much muscle.
Is it pure muscle?
A huge amount of this muscle. Now they've got much denser bones than us as well. So they've got bigger bones. They're like, but the chest muscles on a silverback, it does that thing where it bangs its chest. That's the echo of its muscles, So it's absolutely monstrously large. So that if we're going to go for gorilla, let's go for the biggest one, and that's the top end, right?
Okay.
Men is much more difficult. So what we need to do now is think, how do you measure a man? Now behave.
Actually.
Yeah. So we're going to go for the average, right? The average UK Ireland man is about 175 centimeters tall. So it's 20 centimeters shorter than the big gorilla. So that's about 5'9" in old money, give or take. It's getting bigger because people are getting taller, but that's what it is. And they weigh about 85 kilos.
Right.
So it's 200 plus to 85. It's about 40% the weight of the gorilla, an average man.
Yeah, but there's 100 of them.
Yes, and that's the key point. If people said 10 or 15, I would go, the gorilla's probably going to win. But 100, that's 8.
Oh, humans win.
Oh, that's 8.5 tons of human.
Yeah, but they're not just going to crush it.
Why not?
Are you saying flat out? No, because what I think would actually happen is obviously 100 can't rush at once. So they almost come in waves to an extent. And then once the first few got ripped to shreds, I think psychologically, the men
right. Let's think about this logically. 20 humans weighs as much as a medium-sized car.
Yeah, but it's not all about weight.
It absolutely is all about weight.
What is it?
Right?
Why is it?
Okay, do you understand why boxing, wrestling, judo, karate,
there's no gorillas.
Why they are all by weight class? Because mass matters. The momentum and force. If 20 humans, which is perfectly feasible, rushed a gorilla and all jumped on it at once, it would drag the gorilla to the ground because it weighs as much as a car. Now, there's 5 times. If you dropped 5 cars onto a gorilla, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't. If you've got a gorilla, don't drop 5 cars on it. So there comes a point where just sheer weight, sheer mass takes over. And if 100 humans manage to attack a gorilla within a reasonably short period of time,
we'd lose some.
Look, no one's getting out of this in good nick.
There'll be casualties.
Yeah, there will be definite casualties, but the gorilla will be exhausted. It will be weighed down. It will be overwhelmed. If we got attacked by 7 tons of insects, each individual insect, nothing. 7 tons of ants attack you, you're toast.
Do you know what? That's one way I've actually not thought of this.
Yeah, and this is the thing. People are
keep going.
People are thinking about this like an action movie where everybody kind of lines up and the dude knocks them down. If you're going to do this strategically as humans, you go, right, everybody all at once pile on. Now, that wouldn't happen in real life because no one in their right mind is going to be the first one to charge the gorilla.
Yeah, that's go first. Yep. No, after you. After you said. No, after you said.
In a hypothetical where they're all like, programmed, they're like robot controlled, and you go, okay, everybody rush 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, like that. That gorilla's finished. It's just too much weight.
So the gorilla wouldn't go like fling men.
8.5 tons.
Yeah, maybe not.
8.5 tons. Again, like 4 or 5 family cars landing on it. Would the gorilla just stand up? No, it bloody well wouldn't.
Think about this so much differently. I was thinking like if it got a little bit messy, could you grab the gorilla in a certain area or try and make it panic?
Okay, we're going to go with a very top tip for our listeners. If faced with an angry silverback, do not grab it by its testicles.
There's your quote.
Top tip. So yeah, in terms of just sheer numbers, I get asked a lot what would win between this and this. And realistically, if you go for a large amount of something, and assuming they're all going to be aggressive and attack at once, just weight alone will be enough. It's great if they've got like claws and teeth and all that kind of stuff, but a cat's got claws and teeth. It's not going to kill a human unless it's a tiger. It's just this question of scale. The bigger and heavier something is, the more chance it has, and that's just how it works. It's
fact.
Yeah, it is. It's just maths. Now, the fun thing here would be trying to do the slider and go, at what point would the gorilla start to win?
Yeah.
So 100 is way too many. I think a gorilla is going to mash 10 men into the ground.
That's terrifying as a thought.
Yeah, because
20,
I think it starts to get iffy at around 20. 30 becomes a problem.
That's still a lot of men.
It is
still a lot if you think about an animal
amount.
Demolishing.
Yeah, by the time you get to 50, this becomes not even an equation, and 100 is nuts. It's 8.5 tons of human. That's a lot of human.
Yes, it is. So it's a fact. 100 men would beat a gorilla.
If they were absolutely fearless and they charged straight in, that gorilla's finished. Because 8.5 tons of jelly beats a gorilla. Never mind 8.5 tons of human.
Debate over.
Clearly, it's not over. I am waiting for the comment section to be full of very angry people who think a gorilla can outfight 8.5 tons of humans. And yeah, I look forward to having that debate. Drop them in the comments.
You the pro gorilla movement. Go on.
So if you've got any more ridiculous questions, we need them, don't we? For our next episode.
Please feel free to ask the most random, wildest question in the comments, and you'll be in the next episode.
Exactly.
Lovely.
So we've more episodes coming out soon. They're just being edited at the moment, and we're going to record more as soon as we get some questions. We've run out. We need more. All right, everybody, tune in to Ant-Man Podcast. See ya.